All right, welcome back to the Daily Facts. And I want to talk about Alexander Yuk Ching Ma. And he worked for the CIA. He was a former CIA agent. As you know, he was arrested for espionage, working with a family member, an 85-year-old family member at that. But let's get into it, because I think this is important for us to know. I'm going to go through the indictment and read that as well. So Alexander Yuk Ching Ma, going forward, I will just call him Ma, is 67 years old. His hometown is Honolulu, Hawaii. He's from Hong Kong. That's where he was born, and he is a naturalized U.S. citizen. I don't know if he's a dual citizen. I didn't see that. Again, his former position was CIA agent. I cannot find a lot of information on Ma, so I don't know if he's married with children. I just don't know. So it's unknown, his marital status. He was arrested on August 14th, 2020. And his current status, he went before the judge on August 18th, and his current location is unknown. So he was arrested, but I cannot find where he is right now. If he is at a holding facility, a detention center in Honolulu, Hawaii, or somewhere in Hawaii, I just don't know. But currently, it's stated that he was arrested, but I just don't know what holding facility he is in. Okay, so there was a press release on Monday, August 17th, and I'll just read a little bit of this. Alexander Yuk Ching, again, Ma, is 67, a former Central Intelligence Agency officer, CIA, was arrested on August 14, 2020, on a charge that he conspired with a relative of his who also was a former CIA officer to communicate classified information up to the top secret level to intelligence officials of the People's Republic of China. The criminal complaint containing the charge was unsealed this morning. So it's another sealed document, indictment. Let's see. The charges announced today are a sobering reminder to our communities in Hawaii of the constant threat posed by those who seek to jeopardize our nation's security through acts of espionage, said U.S. Attorney Price. A particular concern are the criminal acts, those who served in our nation's intelligence community, but then choose to betray their former colleagues and the nation at large by divulging classified national defense information to China. My office will continue to tenaciously pursue espionage cases. And they go on a little more, but this is just a little blurb I wanted to share. And it is unfortunate. I mean, you have people from other countries. You don't know if they have an allegiance to the country they were born. I mean, Ma is from Hong Kong. I'm not sure when he moved to this country, but who knows? President Trump has been very hard on China. We all know that. There's no need to go over that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the indictment. So, of course, as always, it's the United States versus Alexander Yuk Ching Ma. All right, so affidavit of FBI Special Agent Chris Jensen. So this is his sworn testimony here. I am a special agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and have been so employed since 2012. I am currently assigned to the Honolulu field office of the FBI. Since May 2013, I have been assigned to a counterintelligence squad where my primary responsibility is the investigation of matters involving foreign counterintelligence. I have completed FBI training in foreign counterintelligence matters, which has included training in criminal violations associated with espionage. I have also worked extensively with representatives of other U.S. intelligence agencies on matters related to a foreign counterintelligence. That's interesting. In the course of my career, I have participated in the service of multiple federal search warrants relating to counterintelligence investigations. I have led many counterintelligence investigations, including those related to espionage matters. In 2017, I received an award from the U.S. Department of Defense related to counterintelligence investigation, where I served as the FBI's lead investigator. Okay, so this is just, I'm not going to read any more of this. This just talks about this individual, this agent's experience. All right. Okay, let's get into Alexander Ma. Alexander Ma Ching Ma, and we're going forward call him Ma, age 67, is a naturalized United States citizen who resides in Honolulu, Hawaii. He was born in Hong Kong in 1952 and came to Honolulu, Hawaii in or about 1968, where he finished primary school and attended the University of Hawaii in Manoa. Okay, so he was born there in Hong Kong in 1952, and he came to Hawaii in or around 1968. So he was, a young man before he moved here. So while he was in Hong Kong, he went through his, adolescence and teenage years, and so he was a young man at the time he moved here. Ma joined the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, in 1982. In 1983, Ma was assigned as a CI officer overseas. As a CI officer, Ma held a top secret security clearance and had access to classified national defense information of the United States. Now, I'm going to pause there. You always wonder, you're going to assume that your country does the proper vetting of, this individual was born in Hong Kong. And it goes back to what I was saying. Does he have an allegiance to Hong Kong? When he came to the United States, how did he feel? How was he treated? During that time, there was probably a lot going on. You just have to wonder. And I don't know what the vetting process is. It's your guess is as good as mine, but evidently it wasn't great if this person was involved in espionage. I mean, in addition to his top secret clearance, Ma had access to sensitive, compartmented information, SCI. This access included the identities of covert CIA officers, the identities of clandestine human sources, details of sensitive intelligence collection operations and methods. Wow. Details of CIA clandestine training, cryptographic information related to CIA communications, and details of clandestine trade craft the CIA employs to avoid detection by hostile foreign intelligence services. Now that is huge. I mean, if he has access to that, he could, that's worth its weight in gold, understanding how they, how they conduct their not espionage, how they conduct their foreign intelligence, how they gather information. It's unheard of. Okay, as a CIA officer, MA was trained in methods of covert communication, surveillance detection, and operational security for purposes of conducting authorized intelligence activities for the United States. In 1989, Ma resigned from the CIA. Okay. Makes you wonder what he did from 1989 until now. That's several years. And he's only in his 60s. So according to records provided by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, when Ma arrived in Honolulu on November 24, 2000, he told CBP agents during a secondary inspection that he had been residing in China for at least the previous 5 years and that he was an importer and exporter. Okay, so that's what he was doing. Ma was carrying $9,000 cash in US currency. Okay, so he was an importer exporter. Interesting. He was an importer exporter of US secrets as well to China, evidently. All right, we're going to get into the co-conspirator, the 85-year-old. So co-conspirator one. Co-conspirator number one, age 85, is a naturalized United States citizen who resides in Los Angeles, California. He was born in Shanghai, People's Republic of China, and came to the United States in 1961. Okay. CC1 is related by blood to Ma. CC1 joined the CIA in 1967. Okay, so he came to the United States in 1961. So he joined the CIA in 1967. So he was, a decent age, but potentially a teenager when he was in Shanghai. So he could have had his allegiance to Shanghai. You just have to wonder, which goes back to my question about the vetting of agents, that CIA agents or any agent that is working in the United States, what is their allegiance? How are they vetted? Are they watched throughout their career? It's, that's not to say that a US citizen could not, get into espionage as well, because we've had that happen. There was a gentleman, I cannot remember his name right now, but he was found out and he was imprisoned. He was a US citizen, I do believe. So again, it's curious. So he worked at the CIA in 1967. He joined the CIA in 1967 and worked as an officer from 1971 to 1982. For multiple years during CC1's CIA employment, CC1 was assigned overseas. As a CIA officer, CC1 held a top secret security clearance and had access to classified national defense information of the United States. Okay, that's huge. National defense information, our military. In addition to CC1's top secret clearance, CC1 had access to SCI. This access included the identities of covert CIA officers, the identities of clandestine human sources, details of sensitive intelligence collection operations and methods. So, again, how the CIA collects information, their methods, the methodology, details of CIA clandestine training, cryptographic information related to CIA communications, and details of clandestine trade craft the CIA employs to avoid detention by hostile foreign intelligence services. And I think that's pretty important. Again, details of clandestine trade craft the CIA employs to avoid detection. So if you are privy to that, how they avoid detection, and you sell that information to your, I guess you could say, for all intents and purposes, enemy, and that might be a harsh word. If you're giving that information, then they're going to know how to, to detect that. If you have that information, you're going to be able to sell that. That to me would be valuable, on how they avoid detection, because then you can go and look at those ways that they avoid detection and determine, okay, this is what they do to avoid, and I see that they're doing, you get the picture. As a CIA officer, CC1 was trained in methods of covert communication, surveillance detection, and operational security for purposes of conducting authorized intelligence activities for the United States. I mean, if you're going to sell our processes and procedures and how we do things, then you're opening us up to, people figuring out, infiltrating, and learning how we do things and beating us at our own game. That's ultimately what I'm trying to say here. I may have not have articulated it well at the beginning, but that's ultimately how I view that. In 1983, CC1 resigned from the CIA after it was determined CC1 was inappropriately using CC1's official position to assist PRC nationals in obtaining entry into the United States. After ending employment with the CIA, CC1 resided in Los Angeles, California. In or about 1998, CC1 was convicted on 2 counts of violating 18 USC 1014, false statement to a lending institution. The FBI investigation into CC1 has revealed that CC1 currently suffers from an advanced and debilitating cognitive disease. Due solely to CC1's present cognitive issues, we do not seek an arrest warrant for CC1 at this time. I mean, he's 85, so it makes sense that he would have debilitating cognitive disease. Maybe he has dementia, or he's senile. It's reasonable at that age. I mean, not all 85-year-olds. There's some sharp 85-year-olds. Evidently, he's not one of them. All right, the central agency, we'll read a little bit of this. The CIA is a U.S. government intelligence agency with various offices and is a component of the United States intelligence community. The CIA is responsible for, among other things, collecting, including through clandestine means, producing and disseminating foreign intelligence and counterintelligence used to inform U.S. policymakers conducting counterintelligence activities, conducting administrative and technical support activities, conducting covert action activities approved by the president, and conducting foreign liaison relationships with intelligence and security services of foreign governments. The collection of foreign intelligence is in part done through the use of sources or assets. All right, so, people essentially, they can be, a source or an asset. Sources or assets, okay, are people who agree to help a foreign intelligence service by providing information to that service in response to tasking from foreign intelligence officers or agents. All right, the Chinese intelligence services and associated terms. The PRC intelligence services encompasses both the civilian and military components of Chinese intelligence programs. The Ministry of State Security, MSS, handles civilian intelligence collection and is responsible for counterintelligence and foreign intelligence, and well as I'm assuming, and as well as political security. The MSS consists of a central ministry, provincial state security bureaus, and municipal state security bureaus. The Shanghai State Security Bureau is a provincial state security bureau charged with collecting intelligence within the geographic region surrounding Shanghai. Because the SSSB reports directly to the MSS and is a department thereof, MSS and SSSB will be collectively referred to in this affidavit as the MSS. Among other things, the MSS is tasked with collecting intelligence information that would be of value to the PRC's political, economic, and national security, and actively recruits human intelligence sources in order to gather intelligence information and state secrets of foreign countries. The MSS operates in part through the use of intelligence officers, IOs, who focus their attention on conducting clandestine and overt human source operations to gather intelligence information. The United States is a primary target of the MSS intelligence gathering mission. That's reasonable that they would be a target. They want to know our secrets. That sums it up. They want to know our secrets. And oftentimes they steal our intellectual property. And I mean, look at Huawei. President Trump is very involved in that and banned them, I believe, from the United States. Well, it looks like, and this is just my opinion, that Ma and this co-conspirator were working both sides, most likely. you know, working for the US and working for China. I mean, it's, at any rate, we'll pick back up next time. And as always, thank you for stopping by the Daily Facts. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, share with others. I think this information is important. I think seeing these documents and understanding kind of gives you a little history on the different, you know, the judicial system. And, you know, this document talks about the CIA and the MSS, the Chinese version of the CIA. So it's all very interesting. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for stopping by. We'll talk again soon. Bye.